What's up, everybody? Welcome to Vibe Fusion X. I hope everyone is doing well out there. I just saw this pop up on my timeline and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. It's just going to be a little short opinion piece on me just giving you a little details on Mexico's new updates, new travel updates for coming into Mexico. So, but if you're heading to Mexico, traveling experience, any type of travel experience, whatever, as far as coming and going type of thing, type of feel, Mexico is now requiring travel visas. Yes, y'all. So no more going to that border, probably showing your passport, and they just waving you through. No more of that shit. Now, Mexico is requiring travel visas in addition to the passport, right? We finna get into these. We finna get into these because there's also complaints about wait times, long lines, and long wait times. But let's see the story.
Now to the U.S.-Mexico border, where travelers are experiencing some changes during spring break travel. If you're heading south of the border for your vacation, you'll need more than just your passport. Mexico is now requiring U.S. citizens to fill out an immigration form before they can cross. And it's created incredibly long lines at the port of entry. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with one of those travelers, and Chase, they had no idea that this was happening.
Caribe, this process is not new, but Mexican immigration authorities are now strictly enforcing it, leaving people waiting hours to get into Mexico and having to pay. Like countless Arizonans, Jim McCauley and his wife, who live in Scottsdale, were heading into Mexico for a day trip.
We were going to visit the pharmacy, have a lunch, and then be on our way. It's something we've done many times before.
They usually go in on foot and say the process is easy.
Normally walking into Mexico is just like walking into a Walmart.
But on Thursday, when they got to the point of entry in Yuma, that wasn't the case.
The line was very long. Most of the people in line didn't know what was going on. The only progress that we made in that line were people that were leaving.
When they asked others how long they had been in line,
they were telling us it was a 3 to 4 hour wait.
Both finally decided to cancel their trip because of it.
It was frustrating because we didn't expect it, hadn't heard about it. For us, it's a 3.5 hour trip down there and back.
The reason for the long wait, U.S. citizens traveling into Mexico not only have to bring their passport, but now must obtain a travel visa, according to the Mexican consulate of Phoenix, a form most Americans don't know about because Mexico hasn't strictly enforced it until now.
That's what was taking so much time, as far as we could tell.
The consulate says it's to make tourists comply with the requirements and for safety. You can fill it out at the port of entry or online. To find it, go to the Mexican consulate of Phoenix website, click on this link called Visa para Personas. From there, click the first link near the top. Hit this plus sign, agree to the conditions, then fill out the form, including where you're going in Mexico, what port of entry you're entering, and other personal information. You can then print out the form and bring it with you. However, the consulate says it will cost you about $30. For McCauley, he says until the process gets smoothed out, he isn't planning on going to Mexico anytime soon.
It's not worth the time or the effort now.
Now, the consulate says those with dual citizenship do not need to fill out this visa. You can also find a link to that form on our website, 12news.com. Mark?
All right, Chase.
Well, there you have it. Right? You heard what he said. So, with that being said, y'all, let me ask y'all this and let me know what y'all think in the comments below. But do y'all think Mexico is being petty with the U.S.? Because I note that during his, while he was talking here, he was saying U.S. citizens. He wasn't saying just, it wasn't a broad term as far as if you're anybody that's entering into Mexico. You feel me? I know y'all noticed that type of lingo he was saying. It wasn't as far as if anybody comes to Mexico border trying to get to Mexico. He said U.S. citizens. So now my question is this to y'all, and let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Y'all think Mexico being petty towards the U.S. because y'all know they've been going, they've been bumping heads with Trump and them damn tariffs. So do y'all think Mexico doing this to be petty towards the U.S. because of Trump and them damn tariffs? That's what it was given. Because again, This is something that was already, this isn't a new process, right? Let's get something straight. This isn't something new. This isn't something Mexico just pulled out of their ass and was like, now we finna start. No, this is something that had already been there, but now they're just starting to strictly enforce. Now they, instead of just take it and leave it, now they strictly enforcing this shit. Why? And then they say they citing for safety reasons, and I can't knock that shit, because I know I've seen hella videos on motherfuckers, tourists, people going on vacation and shit, getting fucked up over there in Mexico, and you don't hear from they motherfucking ass again, or they getting kidnapped, or they ass just, you know what I'm saying, they gone, they get unalived over that bitch. So I don't knock it, but they're saying that the process is long as shit. 3-4 hour wait, you feel me? No, bro. Like, I ain't even got to, no, not just to go. I'm just being a tourist and I'm going. No. But let me know in the comments below if y'all done went to Mexico, or if you're planning to go to Mexico or any part of Mexico. And if you have went to Mexico, I would love to hear in the comments below what your experience was like getting into the border. And has anybody been to the border recently, went to Mexico recently, and had to go through this, you know, this not new, but more enforced rule, more enforced, you know, travel documentation? Has anybody had to experience that, go through that? Like, me personally, if you know you finna plan a trip to Mexico, go ahead, hit that website and go ahead, click the link and go and get started on this shit. Go and do that shit now, so you can at least avoid the wait. But at the same time, if you fucking get there and you gotta wait in line, you might have your shit already ready, but you waiting in line. I'm just like, you will be waiting in line the same amount of time, triple that, because 10 motherfuckers ahead of you ain't doing that, ain't do the shit, and they just there. So the option, and so they doing it on spot right there at the border. They literally sitting there filling out the paperwork and shit, and then you gotta sit there and wait for them to process your paperwork. Like, yeah, I'd rather do the shit online and get it over with, you know what I mean? But not unless you get there and they like, okay, if people who already happen to have their shit filled out and printed it out online, we need y'all to come this way, and the people who don't and didn't do this, y'all stay right here. Like, I could fuck with that if they did it that way. But if you going through the trouble of filling out online, paying the $30, printing the bitch out, only to get to the border, get to your point of entry, and you got a line ahead of you, and you going, well, I already did my shit, so who I need to get this to skip this long ass line? And they sitting there going, ain't no skipping lines. One line for the same reason. You just gotta wait your turn, and you in line. It's like 50 people in front of you. You like, what the fuck? So again, they still working out shit. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this shit in the comments below. Wishing y'all peace and blessings. Y'all be good out there. Much love. Vibe out. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Vibe Fusion X. I hope everyone is doing well out there. I just saw this pop up on my timeline, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. It's just going to be a little short opinion piece on me just giving you a little details on Mexico's new updates, new travel updates for coming into Mexico. So, but if you're heading to Mexico, traveling experience, any type of travel experience, whatever, as far as coming and going type of thing, type of feel, Mexico is now requiring travel visas. Yes, y'all. So no more going to that border, probably showing your passport, and they just waving you through. No more of that shit. Now